So now we are doing the B part of electricity. So now in this part now we have to learn there are a few new terms you need to learn about. The first term is EMF, which means electromotive force. Then there is a term called as EV, which means terminal voltage. Then there is a term called small v, which means voltage drop. Small r, which means internal resistance, and capital R, which you've already done. We used to call this as resistance so far, but now onwards in this category we call it as external resistance. Okay, so we are going to learn about these terms now. So in this part you have to basically know what is each of them. You have to learn their definitions. There are some 3-4 new formulas and some 7-8 numericals are there. So this part is a little difficult, so pay attention properly. If you want, again watch it 2-3 times this video and read from your textbook also. See, to get the current, what do we need? We need an electric cell. Okay, what does an electric cell does? It basically converts chemical energy into electrical energy. Okay, a electric cell, it converts chemical energy into electrical energy. Now so we know, we have batteries in our cell phone batteries. Basically they convert chemical into electrical. When the batteries are completely drained out, you again charge them, so we again convert electrical to chemical. Again when you use it, again you're converting from chemical to electrical. Now when you say a cell is giving out electrical energy, what does it exactly mean? It means that there is a chemical reaction which takes place inside it, and due to that chemical reaction, the chemical energy is getting converted into electrical energy. Now let's say out here you have a cell. So what I'm drawing here is something like those pencil cells what you use. Okay, you will understand this part better if you've done electrolysis in chemistry. Now, so this is a pencil cell. If you know, there are two terminals in this, positive and negative. The positive one is called as what? Anode, and the negative is called as what? Cathode. So even if you don't know much about it, it's okay, we don't need it here in physics, but just for the basic terms, positive means an anode and negative means a cathode. Now whole of this cell, this part, it is all filled up with an electrolyte. So this cell is filled with what? Electrolyte. Okay, what is an electrolyte? Like as I told you, if you've done in electrolysis, you know, we use sulfuric acid out here, hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sodium chloride, any such, basically a liquid which is ionic. So that is called as an electrolyte. So now because of this reaction in this electrolyte, they will release what? Electrons. Also there are positive ions and negative ions. So this end will become positive, that end will become negative. Now out here, let's say here from here we take a copper wire. There is a resistor R out here, and then there is a key out here. Okay, I hope you all remember what a key is. You can put a circuit on and off with the help of this key. When I say this is a resistor, meaning it could be anything, like for example a bulb, fan, motor, something, any electrical gadget that you want to put over there. Now, right now, so how will the current flow? We've learned it will go from positive to negative. Okay, and how will the electrons flow? It will go from negative to positive. Okay, now if you remember, potential difference or the voltage is explained in terms of what? Protons, positive charge. What was the definition of positive charge? What was the definition of potential difference? It's the work done in moving a unit positive charge from one point to another point. Okay, it is a unit positive charge, which is the work done in moving a unit positive charge from one end to another end is called as what? Potential difference. Now out here again, so let's say when you're moving it from here positive to this negative terminal, we have to overcome which resistance? We have to overcome this resistance, which is called as external resistance. But when those charges reach over here, from here they have to again travel back to this point. Now when they are trying to travel from here to this point, what happens, here also it has to overcome through the resistance. Now who's offering the resistance inside this? It's an electrolyte who's offering this resistance. Okay, it is an electrolyte who's offering this resistance. Got it? So there are two types of resistance now. There is an external resistance and there is an internal resistance. So external resistance means the resistance which is outside the cell. Internal resistance means the resistance which is inside the cell offered by the electrolytes. That is called as the internal resistance. Okay, so I'll repeat once again. Electrolyte offers what? Internal resistance. And the symbol for internal resistance is what? Small r. I'll write down all the symbols and all later on. Okay, got it everybody? So see, I'll repeat once again. When a charge starts from here, it has to overcome the external resistance and then reach the negative terminal. Then it will be again forced to move from negative to positive. Who forces it to move from negative to positive again? The electrolyte. Meaning there is a reaction in the electrolyte and then chemical reaction forces this charge to move from here to the positive terminal. Okay. Now, so I'll tell you what all these terms are now. The first term is EMF, which means what? Electromotive force. Now in simpler term, what is electromotive force? The potential difference required to overcome the external resistance as well as the internal resistance. Okay. Technically, what do we call it as? Work done in moving a unit positive charge from unit positive charge in the external circuit as well as in the internal circuit, or you can say outside the cell and inside the cell. Then it is called as EMF. That means what? Electromotive force. So symbol for EMF is what? Capital E, simply. Then next term is terminal voltage. Now what do you mean by terminal voltage? Symbol for terminal voltage is PV. What do you mean by terminal voltage now? So terminal voltage is the voltage required to overcome the external resistance. So that voltage which is required to overcome external resistance is called as what? Terminal voltage. Third term is the voltage drop. If you can make out from this word only again, voltage drop. Drop means what? The decrease in the voltage. So you had a cell of a higher voltage, but you are able to use only some voltage out of it, and the difference is called as what? Voltage drop. Its symbol is what? Small v. Okay. Then there is an internal resistance. As I already told you, what do you mean by internal resistance? Internal resistance is the resistance which is offered by the electrolyte of the cell. So since it is inside the cell, they named it as what? Internal resistance. Then there is an external resistance. Now what do you mean by external resistance? The resistance offered by the external circuit is called as the external resistance. I'll give you an example out here now. Look at this example. So let's say you bought an electric cell. Okay, and that cell which you bought was of say voltage 10 volts. So you buy a cell of EMF 10 volts from a shop, and then when you're using it in your circuit, whenever you use that circuit, you will not be able to actually get all the 10 volts from this battery. Why? Because though the potential difference was 10 volts, it is also losing some energy in overcoming the internal resistance. So there is a decrease in the voltage now. Let's say the drop in the voltage was 2 volts. So then your terminal voltage becomes how much? 8 volts. Okay. So I'll repeat once again. See, you bought a cell of 10 volts. But out of those 10 volts, you are able to use how much? Only 8 volts. Why? Because 2 volts was the voltage drop. The decrease in the voltage in overcoming this internal resistance is called as what? Voltage drop. You can see well in this equation, EMF is equal to TV plus small v. So 10 volts is equal to 8 volts plus 2 volts. Okay, now in simpler terms, so basically all these three, EMF, terminal voltage, voltage drop, they all are voltage only or potential difference, but they are given these special names under certain special condition. Meaning, if I ask you what is the voltage called which is required to overcome only the external resistance, it's called as voltage drop. Okay, what is the voltage required to overcome internal resistance? Voltage drop. And what is that voltage called which is required to overcome external as well as internal? That is called as what? EMF. That is what? Electromotive force. Okay, there are two definitions in your textbook, but you have to learn one in which they have explained in terms of work done. So the definitions are also a little difficult. You will have to learn and write them 3-4 times, then only you will be able to get it. Okay, is this clear with, all of you, right? All these terms. It's very, very important. If you want, you make a note of all of this. Now one more thing, if the circuit is open, let's say the circuit is open. I hope you all know what you mean by open circuit. Open circuit means what amount of current is flowing through the circuit? Zero. There is no current only flowing through it. Okay. Now when the current is only not flowing through it, will there be any voltage drop? No, it will be zero. If your voltage drop is zero, then at that time your EMF and your terminal voltage are the same. So basically, if the current is not flowing through the cell, then the voltage or potential difference across it is also equal to what? It's EMF. Like when you bought a cell from a market, say there was written 10 volts on it. So as long as you are not using that cell, it means how much is the voltage across the end? 10 volts only. Okay. But now when the circuit is closed, what do you mean by closed circuit? Closed circuit means what? Current is not equal to zero, meaning you are letting some current flow through it. Okay, if the current is not zero, there has to be some voltage drop, and because there is a voltage drop, then the EMF will be lesser than the terminal. Sorry, EMF will be more than the terminal voltage. I'll just rewrite it again. EMF will be more than the terminal voltage. Why EMF will be more? Because you are going to lose some amount of voltage in overcoming the internal resistance. Now tell me one thing, the internal resistance which is offered by a cell is good or bad for us? The internal resistance which is offered by a cell, is it good or bad for us? It is bad for us because we don't want internal resistance. See, we want to overcome this resistance. Okay, so if something is consuming energy over here, it's okay because we are using an appliance. We don't want a cell to consume our energy. See, the function of a cell is to provide energy, but at the same time it is consuming some energy to provide some energy. But it is by default. Meaning what? You cannot have a cell with the internal resistance of zero. It's not possible. Like how we had superconductors. So here it is not possible that you get small r equal to zero. Okay. So I'll tell you all the formulas now you have in this part of the chapter. Okay, there are also factors you have to learn affecting internal resistance. So you had already done, we have done factors affecting resistance, we have done factors affecting specific resistance. Now there are factors affecting internal resistance. Now what are the factors affecting internal resistance? There are 4 factors in all. There are 4 factors in all. There are 2 factors which depends upon the electrolyte. So an the cell contains what? Electrolyte, and it contains what? Electrodes. So there are 4 factors. 2 factors depend on electrodes, 2 factors depend on electrolyte. So it depends upon the nature or the concentration of the electrolyte, and it also depends upon the temperature of electrolyte. So if you increase the concentration, internal resistance will increase. If you increase the temperature, internal resistance will decrease out here. Then in electrodes, it depends upon the surface area. It depends upon the surface area. More the surface area, less the electrodes, and it depends upon the distance between the electrodes. More the distance, more the distance, more the internal resistance. Fine. Okay, I'll tell you now the different, now the few formulas which you need to know in this part. Okay. Now the first formula, the basic formula what you've learned so far is what V is equal to IR. So voltage is equal to current into resistance. Now formula number, this is the basic formula. Okay, now first formula, what have we learned? That your TV is equal to I into capital R. Second formula, small v is equal to I into small r. Third formula, we know that EMF is equal to what? Terminal voltage plus the voltage drop. And fourth one, the last thing, what we'll do is the substitute now. What is terminal voltage equal to? IR. Voltage drop is what? I into small r. What can you take common here? I in brackets R plus small r. So that's your formula number 4. So these are the 4 formulas now we are going to use. So there are there are hardly, like as I told you, there are some 8-9 problems out there, that's all in this. And the problem is also actually simple. It's just that you have to use this new formulas now. Okay, so right now I'm doing the sums from your textbook, which are from page number 201. Okay, now I'm doing in the order of increasing level of difficulty, so I'm not doing in the order of the textbook sums. Okay, see, we'll start with the example number 3 first. Now look, in the example number 3, a cell is of EMF 1.8 volt, internal resistance 2 ohm. It is connected in series with an ammeter of resistance 0.7 ohm and another of 4.5 ohm. And this is the circuit diagram given to us. What would be the reading of the ammeter? Means what you have to find out? I. Remember, reading of ammeter means I. What is the PD across the terminals of the cell? PD means what? Potential difference, voltage. Across the terminals means what? Terminal voltage. So see, I'll just write on all the data first that they have given us. We are given EMF is equal to 1.8 volt. Small r is equal to 2 ohm. R1 is equal to 0.7 ohm. R2 is equal to 4.5 ohm. And so what will be your total resistance? R1 plus R2. 0.7 plus 4.5. So it will be 5.2 ohm. Now they are asking us find out the current, and you have to also find out the terminal voltage. So guys, first remember, whenever EMF is given, we'll be using the EMF formula. What is the EMF formula? E is equal to I, big R plus small r. What is big I? We don't know. What is big R? 5.2. What is small r? 2. EMF 1.8. So 1.8 is equal to I into 7.2. I is equal to 1.8 upon 7.2. I is equal to 0.25 ampere. Okay, so that's the current we got. Now you have to find out terminal voltage. What's the formula of terminal voltage? I into big R. So I is 0.25, that is 1/4. R is 5.2. What is 1/4 of 5.2? 1.3 volt. Okay, we'll try next sum now. Sum number 4. So the third sum was 1 star. The fourth sum we are doing now is also 1 star. Okay, see again, in the fourth sum we are given that the music system draws a current of 400 milliampere when connected to a 12 volt battery. What is the resistance of the music system? It's simple. Now the music system is left playing for several hours, and finally the battery voltage drops, and the music system stops playing when the current drops to 320 milliampere. At what battery voltage does the music system stop playing? So what we will do, first you are asked to find what. Okay, so this one is a 3-star problem. So see, you're given first the music system draws a current of 400 milliampere. So I is equal to 400 milliampere. If you remember, we have to convert this into ampere by dividing by what? 1000. So you get 0.4 ampere. When connected to a 12 volt battery, what is V equal to? 12 volt. What is the resistance of the music system? So use the formula V is equal to IR. V is 12, I is 0.4 into R. So R is equal to 30 ohm. So that music system is having how much resistance? 30 ohm. Now they are asking us to at what battery voltage does the music system stop playing. So now what we can do is we can find out the at what battery voltage it will stop playing, meaning what is the terminal voltage we need? PV equal to IR. I is 0.4. What is the big R? Sorry, I is 320 milliampere, the new current. So 320 milliampere means 320 upon 1000. What is R equal to? 30. Cancel 0, 0, 0, 0. So it will be 96. It will be 9.6 volts. So see, when the voltage will drop, you want basically below 9.6, it will stop working. So when the voltage drops from 12 till 9.6 volt, your appliance will still continue to work. But when the voltage will fall below 9.6, then it will stop working. Okay. Then the sum number 5, that is again you can mark it as a DASU problem, very very difficult problem. So in this sum now they are saying that there is a cell of EMF E and internal resistance R. It sends a current of 1 ampere when it is connected to an external resistance of 1.9 ohm. But it sends a current of 0.5 ampere when the resistance is 3.9 ohm. Calculate the values of EMF and small r. Now see, I'll make it a little more practical for you. What does this mean now? It means that you have a cell of EMF E and small r internal resistance. Now remember, EMF and internal resistance now, they always remain constant for a cell. Let's say for example you bought a cell of that 1.5 volt small pencil cell. You get off those Eveready or something. First you go and connect it to your remote control. So when you connect it to your remote control, when you put the cell over there, that cell was giving out a current of 1 ampere and the resistance offered by remote control was 1.9 ohm. This is just an example, it's not that they have given in the question. Now you remove the same cell and you put it into your clock. When you put it into your clock, that time you found that the same cell was giving out a lesser current. Why was it giving out a lesser current? Because the clock is offering more resistance of how much? 3.9 ohm. That's why. But remember, the EMF and smaller of the cell does not change. You put it into either of the appliances. So what we have to do now? We'll first find out the EMF out here. What's the formula of EMF? I into big R plus small r. I is 1, big R is 1.9, small r is small r. So 1.9 plus small r. Out here, what will be your EMF equal to again? I into big R plus small r. I is how much? 0.5. So 1 upon 2. Big R is 3.9. and plus small r. Now your EMF1 and EMF2 will be equal. Why? Because the EMF of a cell remains the same. Then 1.9 plus r is equal to half 3.9 plus r. Cross multiply, your small r will come equal to 0.1 ohm. Put the value of small r either in E1 or you can put it in E2. You will get the value of EMF. And the EMF out here you will get 2 volts. Okay. So that's how you do this problem. I can write you, it's better to write this as I1 R1, I2 R2, I2 R2, I1 R1. Okay. So that's your problem number 5. Now we'll do next problem, which we are doing is the problem number 2. So in the problem number 2, again out here you are given a battery of EMF 3 volt. Okay, I'll just show you this problem. Look, a battery of EMF 3 volt. It supplies a current through a circuit in which the resistance can be changed. A high resistance voltmeter is connected across the battery. When the current is 1.5, voltmeter is 2.7. Find the internal resistance. So only difficulty you might have over here is in finding out or segregating the data. See, first they said what? A battery has an EMF of 3 volt. It draws a current of 1.5 ampere. When and the voltmeter is 2.7. So remember, when you're drawing the current, then the voltage becomes what? Terminal voltage. Remember, when you're drawing the current, if you were not drawing the current, then the voltage would have been called as EMF. And you have to find out the small r. So there are a couple of methods you can do. What I am doing first out here is, we'll first find out V equal to how much. So V is what? EMF minus PV. So 3 minus 2.7, 0.3 volt. That's your small v. Then what is EMF equal to? Sorry, we don't need to use also this formula. You only need small r now. So we can directly do what, out here. We can say that now small v is equal to I into small r. What is small v? We already found 0.3. What is I? 1.5 into small r. Solve for this, it will come as 0.2 ohm, because you get 1 upon 5 here. 0.2 ohm. Done. So this is again a 3-star problem. It will come for 3 marks in your exams. Okay, now example number 1. Even this is a 3-star problem. In this numericals now, out here, the first sum, you are given the diagram shows a cell of EMF. Again, EMF is given 2 volt, internal resistance 1 ohm. You are connecting it to an external resistance of 4 ohm. The ammeter A measures the current in the circuit, voltmeter measures terminal voltage. What will be the readings of the ammeter and voltmeter when the key is open and the key is closed? Okay, so we'll just write down the data first. That EMF is equal to 2 volt, small r is equal to 1 ohm, capital R is equal to 4 ohm. Okay, so this is the data given. Now the first part of the problem is that what if it is open circuit? So if it's open, we know current will be 0 and your EMF, your terminal voltage will be equal to your EMF, which is equal to 2 volts. But now what if the circuit is closed? So if it is closed, use the formula E is equal to I, big R plus small r. EMF is 2, I we don't know, big R is 4, small r is 1. So I is equal to 2 upon 5, 0.4 ampere. Okay. Now second thing. Okay, that is all. Is there more to the sum? Yeah, okay, we have to, this is the current we found, right? We have to also find terminal voltage. So what is your terminal voltage equal to here? I into big R. I is 0.4 and big R is how much? Out here 4. So be 1.6 volt. Done. Okay. Now next problem. Okay, next problem is the problem number 26. Even for 26th one is a Dasu problem. So see, in the 26th problem, look what we are doing now. In the problem number 26, it's given that a cell supplies a current of 1.2 ampere through two resistors 2 ohm in parallel, and when they're in series current is 0.4. Okay, so look, first we have got two resistors. R1 is equal to 2 ohm, R2 is equal to 2 ohm, and it says that when you put them in series, another option is what? You put them in parallel. So first, when you put them in series, your total resistance will come how much? 4 ohm. When you put them in parallel, your total resistance will come 1 ohm. And when you're putting it in series, then the current flowing through it is how much? 0.4 ampere. And when it was in series, in parallel, the current was 1.2 ampere. And what are we asked to find out? You have to find out the EMF of a cell and the small r of a cell. So this sum is very similar to the fifth sum we've done, except that R1 and R21 are given you directly. They said series and parallel. But now the method remains same, that E and R are going to remain what? Constant. So first we'll find out EMF out here. What is E is equal to I, R plus small r. Now what is I equal to? 0.4. Big R is also 4. Small r we don't know. EMF is equal to I, big R plus small r. What is I? 1.2. Big R plus small r. So that's your EMF 1 and that's your EMF 2. Now what will be, again what is the condition now? That EMF 1 is equal to EMF 2 because the same cell. Now what is EMF 1? 4 upon 10 into 4 plus R. 12 upon 10 is equal to 1 plus R. Okay, so that's your I1, I2, I1, I2. This is RS and this is RP. Cancel 10 and 10. 4 ones are 4 3s are. So 4 plus R is equal to 3 plus 3R. So 2R is equal to 1. R is equal to 0.5 ohm. Okay. And what would be EMF equal to now? So E is equal to what? I, R plus small r. I'm using the series part. So I1 is how much? 0.4. RS is 4. Small r is 4.5. So 4.5 into 4 is how much? 16 to 18. 18 upon 10, 1.8 volt. Okay, next problem now. Problem number 27. Now, for problem number 27, again it's a 3-star problem. In the 27th problem, again, look here. You are given that there is a battery of EMF 15, small r 3. It's connected to two resistors, 3 ohm and 6 ohm in parallel. Okay, so first we will make a diagram for this. See how to make a diagram. So you have got one resistance out here, then this is your second resistance, and the ends of this are connected to a cell. Okay, so here out here we can write what? R1. Over here it will be what? R2. So R1 is equal to what now? We have given two resistors. So R1 is equal to 3 ohm. R2 is equal to 6 ohm. Now EMF is equal to, given to us is how much? 15 volt. Small r is equal to 3 ohm. What do you have to find in the problem now? You have to find out the current through the battery. So you have to find out what is the current flowing in the battery. Second thing, you have to also ask to find PD between the terminals of the battery. So you are asked to find what? Terminal voltage. And also the current in 3 ohm and the current in 6 ohm. So you have to find out I1 is question mark and I2 is also equal to question mark. So first what you'll have to do, you'll have to solve for RP. I'm writing the answer directly. When you will solve for RP, your answer will come 2 ohm. Then we use the formula E is equal to I, big R plus small r. What is big R? 2. What is small r? We don't know. What is I? Sorry, small r we know. Small r is how much? 3. I we don't know, and EMF is 15. So 15 upon 5 is equal to I. So I is equal to 3 ampere. Okay. So the current which is flowing through this cell is how much now? 3 ampere. When it will come at this point, then at this point the current will split. So 3 ampere will split into these two parts. Now we have to find out how much current will flow in each of them. So okay, now we are also asked to find first terminal voltage. So we are done with only the current part. How will you find out the terminal voltage? TV is equal to I into big R. What is I equal to? 3. What is R equal to? Total external resistance was 2 ohm. So 3 into 2 is what? 6 volt. See, what does it mean? You had 15 volts. But out of 15 volts, how much voltage is used by them? Only 6 volts. Got it now? So, though you had 15 volts, you are able to give only 6 volts to your resistors. So, how much is the drop in the voltage? 9 volts. Now, they are asking us to find I1 and I2. We have been doing this kind of sums earlier also. When this is given 3 ampere, let I1 be X, let I2 be 3 minus X, and then solve it. But this time I am trying a little different method. Now, if the terminal voltage is 6 volt, it means voltage across 1 or voltage across 2 will be same as the terminal voltage. But it will be what? 6 volts only. And voltage is same in parallel. Now, what you have to use? You have to use the formula of Varun, IR 1. And out here, Varun, IR 2. What is Varun 1 equal to now? 6 volts. I1 we don't know. R1 is 3. So I1 equals to 2 ampere. Varun 2 is 6. I2 we don't know. And R2 is how much? 6. So what will be I2 equal to 1 ampere. Add both the currents and see, you will get a total of 3 ampere. Okay. Problem number 28 is a super dhatu problem. Okay, but we are not doing 28 right now. We'll do problem number 31. Actually, problem number 31 also you can try on your own. So I don't want to do that. You will try on your own. Okay, which problem we are talking about? Problem number 31. It's a little difficult problem though, but at least one problem you will try on your own. Okay, done. So for homework, we will be doing. Okay, I'll WhatsApp you all the homework.